Hi folks, welcome to the Sabre Zone. This is the video on the channel that always discusses what you had to say, how you said it, and my opinion on it. There you go, you're getting 3 for 1. All right, let's go into this. I'm gonna talk about this in a bit, but there's a lot to talk about here. I'll try and keep it within like a reasonable time, but this is a good note that I seen, and it's, you know, I'm always interested when you guys throw notes at me about future of the team, visions you have, potential that we have, positive stuff, positive stuff. So let's take a look at it. Here we go. Here's a clip. Shout out goes to Valeria Fitzgibbon, and Valeria says, we could see a lot of 20-goal guys on the Sabres next year. Peterka, Quinn, Cousins, Middlestat, Okposo, Olofsson, Skinner, Thompson, Tuck, and maybe Dahlin and Power. Yes, I agree with that. That's crazy to think about. Imagine this team with goaltending in the 915 to 920 range. Valeria, I would be happy with 910 to 915, to be honest. 920, we won't need all these 20 goal scorers, but it would be awesome. Could you imagine we have like 10? How many did you name here? I think it was 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. There's a trivia for you guys. I'll throw one at you. Who was the last NHL team to get 10 20 goal scorers in a season? My guess is Mike Phelan will nail this one. I'm pretty sure they were the last one, right, Mike? I'm pretty sure. I won't mention it. I'll let the guys dig and go into that one. But I'm pretty sure, I'm very sure the Oilers didn't do it. So guys, I know the ones that you're going to think the Edmonton Oilers of the 80s. No, wasn't them. I'm pretty sure the Oilers didn't do it. Not positive though. I'd have to check that. That's a really a good thing to look at. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's look at some of these names, guys. 1 second. I mean, all these guys. Peterka, yes, he could. Quinn, yes, he could. I think yes, he will. I think they both will. Maybe not Peterka. Maybe not. Quinn will, I think. As long as all these guys are healthy, of course, right? Cousins will. Middlestat, I think, will. Okposo, I don't know. That's a tough one. I hope so. I would like to see him finish 2 strong seasons if he finishes off his career after next year. He might not, though. We might keep him for a minimum salary. Well, we'll talk about that. Olofsson will if he stays healthy. Olofsson, actually, guys, I think can get 30. Skinner can get 30. I'm going to go on the record. I think Thompson's going to get 50 next year, guys. Call me nuts. I think Tage Thompson's a 50-goal man next year. Tuck, yes, he could also. I think Dahlin will. Yeah, I think Dahlin will. Owen Power, it's kind of a long shot, but maybe. Who knows? His potential, we don't know yet. He only had 8 games, right? So we have a lot of potential here. This is crazy. When you look at these names, isn't this crazy? We got to keep this team together because, you know, us as Sabres fans, we know where they're headed, Valeria. We know. Guys, we all know the Sabres are headed to good places with this young core. So we got to keep this together. We really do. We got to keep this team together somehow, some way through non-greed. We talked about Tage in that last video. Tage has, you know, one of you brought up a really good point that he is a man of faith. That is a really, really good point that one of you brought up. I wasn't thinking of that when I did that Tage video. That's an excellent point, that he might not be overcome by greed because of his faith. That's a very good point. We'll see. We will see, because I know some of you said, I think he'll get greedy. We'll see. And if he gets greedy, then we have to make a decision there. We can't start paying guys. We won't be able to pay these 10 guys $6 to $10 million each and keep a team together. It won't happen. It just won't happen. So we have to find the bargains. Look at Tuck. You know, what's he making? 4.75? Tuck's an excellent contract. You know, if you can get some of these guys locked in for around 6, 7, that would make 8 elsewhere. And it's not hopeful thinking. It's realistic thinking because of the culture we're building. When you got a team that players want to play on, Boston's one of those. They'll take team-friendly contracts, right? The Bruins always have. They've always kept that core together and taken a little less to stay in Boston. How much money do you have to make? Really? Guys, we're lucky if we make $1 million in our lifetime. Really? So how, you know what I mean? How much do you have to make in 1 year for 8 years? And people that say I need the security, come on. Come on. You're making 10 million a year, you're clearing like 5 at least, no matter where you are, and then you're playing around with it and stock market and everything if you're smart. So I'm just thinking, how much money do people need? You don't need all that. I think it's realistic. We can get these guys to stay, reasonable contracts, as long as we don't set the ball rolling the wrong way. If we set the ball rolling the wrong way, we're going to be in trouble. And all these potential goal scorers, because that's what this video is about. Let's not lose track of that. I'm waving off here. But all this potential youth is going to it's either going to make or break this franchise, this team. Because once you got 6 guys on a team that can get 20 goals, you got a powerhouse. You got a powerhouse. You got 6 guys that can get 20 to 25 goals a year. You got a team that's reckoned with night after night after night. So right now we're on the verge. We're on the bubble of that already. Imagine if all these guys, what if 5 of them got 30 and up and the other 5 got 20? I know there's 11. I'm just tossing power out of the equation for now. Maybe Okposo is a bit of a stretch to get 20 again. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if it's in him to get another season like that. But as long as Okposo gets, I'll say it right now, about 15. You know what I mean? If he can get around 15, that's good. That's good for Okposo, what he brings. That's good. It's fine. And of course his contract comes off the books as these contracts kick in, which is the normal cycle of the door, right? The rotating door of money. So we're going to have to be very, very smart, guys, very smart with the money, very smart with the signings. And we're going to have to look at it from an angle where, what about the future now? That is what we have to approach every year. I'm excited for next year, guys. When I see a post like that, when I see that kind of thinking in you fans, it excites me because, yes, this is not a long shot of a post. This is very possible. This could happen. We could have a bunch of 20-goal scorers as soon as next year. And imagine if we have like 8 or 9 of that list that Valeria put out. Just 8 or 9. We would have a crazy season. Guys, 50 wins. I'll tell you right now. I always look at it like that. The more 20-goal guys you have on your team, the more wins you're going to have. Now, the goaltending, you mentioned also, all right? The goaltending, yes, that has to be resolved. 915 to 920 is not realistic, okay? It's not unless you have a guy named Dominic Hasek, really. But you're talking as a team, a 915 save percentage. I don't even want to go there. But if we can get 910 and up, we have something cooking then, all of a sudden. And I think next year, if we get the right goalie in, to maybe groom UPL, because UPL I think he's going to make the jump to the NHL. I know he's hurt, but I still think he's going to make the jump next year. I think that's the way we're going to have to look at it, is just be patient with UPL till he gets so injured so many times in Buffalo. We're like, Who can we acquire? That's going to be another thing we're going to look at in a future video. But I'm really very... When I look at that, we don't need to get a lot of firepower up front. It feels pretty good, guys, that we don't have to go look for wingers and centermen. We don't really have to. I want to get one in the equation that hits. I'm not concerned about goal scoring on this team. Even though I know we didn't have a ton of goals this year, the guys showed the potential that the youth is coming up. We're getting better. Everything's changing right in front of our eyes. And next year, let's not forget, guys, something we're not talking about yet. Next year, they're going to be a year older, a year stronger, a year more wise. And this is something we have to look at in a future video. I'll do that in a pregame video, guys, preseason video. We're not there yet, but a lot of good I've seen in that. I really am expecting to see some sort of a momentum early next year when the season starts with a lot of goal scoring. Look what happened in Florida. All of a sudden, Florida just went crazy. They're like the modern day Edmonton Oilers. No, they're not as powerful as that, but they're the modern day Edmonton Oilers right now. And they came out of nowhere, right? Weren't they a joke just a few years ago? Right, guys? Right? Look at them now. I think that can happen with us also. That's it, guys. My opinion on it. Valeria, good idea for that post, and it caught my eye. I really liked what you said there. It was a good idea for a video, I mean. So appreciate the post, buddy. Keep them coming. I'll see you folks tomorrow. Have a great night. I'm getting back to seeing if the Oilers, speaking of the Oilers, win this one in LA. See you then.